from Salford, where we are, from 7 o'clock on BBC One. It could be a really special night.
It's going to be amazing, isn't it? Now, Kevin MacLeod is best known for helping people turn ambitious, that's probably one of the words I'd use to describe self-building projects into their dream homes on his show Grand Designs.
And now he's back exploring some of the country's most spectacular constructions, from a 14th century fortress to a sci-fi inspired water tower, to find a worthy winner of House of the Year. This is great, isn't it? When you look behind the scenes, see how some people live. Let's have a look.
Hello.
Hello.
Wow. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
I'm admiring your house.
Thanks very much.
As you walk round it, those shapes really, they sort of contort, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah. And this is one heck of an overhang.
Yeah, it takes you back a bit, doesn't it?
Well, it certainly does. Well, it pulled you in. Jen and Henry have built a home that the most passionate architectural enthusiast would be proud to live in. But they didn't set out to.
We just wanted to live in a standard house that we could grow old in.
Yeah, maybe some kind of a wooden beam porch and nice kind of pan tiles and a nice kind of old brick. That's kind of what we had in our heads when we went to the architect. And then, yeah, it got blown out the water.
In a sensitive rural area like this, their architects told them, the only way they would be allowed to build a new home was if it were of exceptional quality, under a planning law called Paragraph 55, now known as Paragraph 80.
Paragraph 80. Where's all their mess?
I don't
all their
know.
stuff. I don't know.
Where is all their stuff? Kevin, where's all their stuff?
People have units. They have containers, don't they? Everybody, if they want to lead a minimal life these days, they chuck half it away and the rest of it they put into a container somewhere in one of those big storage. That's the big gross market, isn't it? Storage.
Containers, storage.
Yes.
Welcome. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.
You must be excited to be doing this again, because you couldn't do it last year.
Yeah. I was twiddling my thumbs at home. But,
I don't believe that.
But this year it's been just great, joyous to get out and see. And of course, these are all projects which were shortlisted, longlisted, I should say, last year. So we've rolled them over into this year. Very exciting.
And tell us about the houses. Tell us what you've seen.
Oh, some bonkers stuff. I mean,
Go on. The most bonkers.
Every year it's an incredible mix. So we've got we've got one house which is built very specifically to look after two boys who've got Duchenne's muscular dystrophy. So it's a really interesting way in which architecture is working to provide for disability and for health. And but then we've got a tiny house the size of a railway tube carriage. We've got some of the biggest houses I've ever seen. A house which has a sort of shadow next to it, which isn't. It looks like it's shadow. It's not. It's another building twice its size, which kind of relationship between old and new. So lots of different stuff, from houses which are hiding, houses which are kind of problem solving. Lots of craftsmanship, of course.
And I guess post COP26 and the environment, a lot of trend in sustainability and materials and that kind of thing. Is that something you're seeing?
Of course, and any well-made house is going to be 5 times better performing than your average developer house. Yeah. And this year we see more and more, of course, and not just in terms of materials and heating and the engineering but also the way that buildings, a lot of the new projects reuse existing buildings. So they're kind of recycling, if you like, old places and incorporating them and embodying them.
I love that. Now, when we see these houses, are you looking at them and thinking, what impact are they going to have? When people watch them on TV and you're talking about them, do they spark a little grain of an idea in somebody else's head, and then we see people take those ideas and do their own thing with them?
Well, that is sort of I don't think I'd do my job if I didn't think that there was a sort of an opportunity there for people to learn. And for 20-odd years we've been doing Grand Designs, and I make no apology for showing people really expensive homes which are groundbreaking, because these are the experimentalists. These are people who are prepared to take all their money, their savings, and spend it on some weird design idea or some brand new unproven technology. 20 years ago, underfloor heating, bifold doors, mechanical ventilation, heat recovery. Oh, air source heat pumps, which now Boris is telling us to buy. These were just brand new in, and we were showing them then. And, so the stuff we're showing now, I think, is going to be influencing architecture for all of us in 10 or 20 years' time.
It is that difficult thing, isn't it? I mean, it's fascinating to watch, it's aspirational, it's wonderful, and yet for most of us in normal houses, it's a pipe dream, and we can't even begin to imagine what it's like. do you get people who say to me, "Oh, you come on, get real. This is so out of the realms for most people that."
Well, I could go round and film 25 homes that you or I live in, and it wouldn't quite be the same, would it? And I think we're all interested in the way that other people live their lives, and the idea of how people live. Because this isn't just about the buildings; it's about the people
It's
who only
definitely
live
about
there.
the people.
Absolutely, and the architecture is for people, and so understanding where people do put their stuff, how the building might respond to their needs, their desires, their loves. That's the interesting thing to try and crack in the conversation, to understand how buildings relate to people.
It takes a certain character to do this, doesn't it?
Well, it takes a certain sort of amazing kind of zeal, like they get converted, and then they're away. And I kind of think you need to be brave, and you need to be really, I need to have a fantastic drive to do this. But thank goodness for these people. That's what they do, and we're there to be able to film.
I mean, you need zeal and you need energy and commitment and ideas, but you also need a lot of money, don't you?
Not always.
No?
No. So Grand Designs last series, yes, the first project cost $2.5 million. The second one in the series went out about a month ago. That was a £250,000 house. Admittedly, they spent nearly £3 million. But my point is that it's attainable. And for me, what makes a grand design and what makes really interesting architecture is stuff that's done on a tight budget where people have had to really think hard and innovate. And to see people craft stuff from basic materials or to come up with an amazing, cheap design solution, that's when it really wins.
Kevin, it is fascinating to talk to you. Cannot wait to see these houses. Grand Designs House of the Year starts tonight, 9 o'clock on Channel 4.
That looks like fun. In the meantime, you're watching Breakfast, and it's 8.